images were taken during the 1990s by Steve McCurry, a notable photojournalist. And these are the first Gulf War. These were some of the first images that came out during that time period. So here we can see a really striking image, a fiery inferno with two individuals overlooking the aftermath of a burning oil field. During this time, there were over 600 oil fields that were set ablaze because of the repercussions and the actions of all these governments going in to this conflict. The second image is sort of similar in that respect. It has very similar tones and notes, but focuses more on the natural world. So here the main subjects are these camels, but they seem to be just grazing idly by with no respect for the wall of fire that's coming at them. And this is an interesting sort of play with time, I think. This is an image representing more sort of the present. We can see sort of what's happening now and what's going to happen in the future as the viewer. Meanwhile, this first image is sort of just a recollection and remembering of what already occurred. Here, the final image is that of sort of a duck in water, seemingly, but as you look closer, it's completely filled with oil. There's no water in sight, and it's just a really striking image. Sort of the blackness and the red striking eyes, sort of this dialogue between the viewer and the image, and connoting sort of the repercussions of sort of environmental impact of sort of these actions and our conflicts today. But I think what's most interesting is how McCurry sets up the three images together and sort of the interplay between them. So here, the duck is sort of bookended by both these firing infernos. So here we are sort of playing with the present, sort of understanding time in that respect. Here we're looking at the past, so using visuals to remember. Here is using visuals to inform about the current state of politics and sort of the conflicts around the world. Meanwhile, here it focuses more on sort of the natural environment and using visuals to sort of resist and use them for our own political actions that we deem necessary and what the viewer thinks is important to them. And what's really interesting here, I think, is how he set them up in terms of the lines of sight and the gazes. So here we have these two humans looking towards this direction, the central duck image. Here the camels looking this way towards the duck, and this is the only image, the only demand image, where the duck has these really red piercing eyes staring back onto the human, onto the viewer, and sort of having this dialogue, this interplay of sort of contemplating the meaning of these visuals and how the actions of humans relates back to sort of the planet.